What's up guys, this is Crazy Awesome, and today we're doing a different kind of video because I got a comment that said I would like a channel that talks to parents about how to effectively get their kids into guitar, what age, what to look for in getting lessons, etc. So why should you listen to me? That's the first most important part. So I'm actually, a lot of people don't know this, but I'm actually a guitar teacher, and I teach a wide range of ages from 6 to like in your 70s. Like, I teach a very wide range of ages, so I do have a lot of say, and I think I have a lot of wisdom as to answer a lot of your questions of like, how do you get kids into playing music, or how do you get kids to play guitar? How do you get them excited about it? How do you get them consistent, and how do you get them to stay playing guitar? Because a lot of people quit. How do you get them to keep going? How do you give them that motivation? You light that fire under them. So I'm going to be answering a lot of those questions today. So first and foremost, since I am a teacher, you guys have to comment down below in the comment section if you all would be very interested in me going more in depth on this. I've never actually recorded a video like this, so excuse me if I'm not the best at this. I don't normally record content like this. This is kind of a special kind of video. I have lots of guitar videos on my channel if you want to see me as a guitarist. I'll probably put them at the end of this video. So let's just get straight into it. So I think the first question, I think it's actually very important to answer first, is how do you start? Because how do you start to get your kid into into guitar? This is going to be specifically talking about guitar, but really you can apply basically anything I'm about to say, you can apply to any other instrument. So how do you get your kid into guitar? How do you start? So with me, I teach a lot of little kids, as I've said previously, and a lot of those little kids, they kind of struggle at first with like wanting to play guitar, and what really drives them is to have a goal, to have a song that they very much want to play. So the thing I recommend is asking your child, like asking them, hey, what do you want to play? Like asking them, like, what song would you want to learn, and make that their goal. And you should make sure that the song that they're starting with is something that is, it doesn't have to be extremely easy, but it should not be something very difficult, because what you want to do is you want to set them up for success, not for failure. If they have a goal to play a very difficult song with lots of difficult techniques and solos, and if they can't play it, they'll want to quit because they feel discouraged. But if you set a goal for a easier song that they really like, that they want to play, and the song is easy but they learn how to play it, it'll feel rewarding because they achieved that goal. So it will feel very, it'll feel very happy and very rewarding for them, so they'll want to go for more. So that's what you should do. You should start small. Like, you should just find out what they're excited about, what makes them excited, what bands make them excited, what songs make them excited, what kind of music they want to learn, what genres they want to get into, because it really depends on the kid. Some kids have natural, they really naturally want to play guitar, so sometimes you don't have to do all this. But if your child is like on the fence or they're not quite sure what they want to do, then I suggest not trying to nudge them or force them into listening to certain things, or just kind of subtly do it, and make sure to give your child the option. The reason a lot of people quit is because they feel like they don't have the option. They don't feel like they don't have a lot of control. A lot of kids will quit because the parent is controlling them, and they're telling them what songs to listen to, or what they have to do, or what instrument they have to play. And that's why a lot of kids actually end up quitting, because they lose the motivation, because everything just feels so calculated. It feels forced. Like, guitar is art, music is art, and it's something that should never feel forced. It is something that is natural. And sometimes, of course, you'll have to kind of make yourself practice. You have to find the motivation to do these things. But what I'm saying is, it's the way you go about it that makes kids very excited. And you can't be too harsh on them. You have to let them venture. You have to let them venture and kind of explore and make mistakes, because I've had a lot of parents that have actually been a little harsh on their kids when they're making mistakes, and when they are just and it's okay for them to be uncertain for what they want to learn. Sometimes if you can't like get them into a song they really want to learn, then you'll just have to, just be like, okay, well, you can just try this for maybe a couple weeks and just see how you like it. So that's, I think, the most important step, I think, is just making sure, when it comes to starting, just making sure that you can latch on, you can get them to latch on to something of substance, something that is important, something that they find motivating and really cool and exciting. If you can, like a song, music, it could be a music artist, it could be a band, it could be, playing a certain melody, just anything that they find it doesn't matter like how, if you think it's like, too easy or too basic, like you can just make them latch on to anything that they find interesting, because that's a goal. That's a goal if you set that goal, and it's very rewarding if you could do it, even if it's not, the most complicated thing. So that's what I like to prioritize first. And next question, okay, so if you start, if your child is starting with guitar, for me, my question would be, they're starting, but how do you keep going? And this is actually the most difficult part. A lot of people think that starting is the most difficult part when it comes to instruments, and when it comes to music, they think that starting to learn your instrument is the most difficult part. It is not. I can tell you what the most difficult, as a musician myself, I can tell you what the most difficult part is. It's actually sticking with your instrument. According to studies, around half of the people who start playing guitar quit, and about 90% quit within the first year. So yeah, 90% of guitarists quit in the first year, which is an insane number. And a lot of people quit for a variety of reasons, so I can't just box them all up, but a lot of people quit due to lack of motivation, or they quit because they think they're not good enough, or they think they're not progressing enough. But I think the most important thing to do, to help yourself keep going, to help your child or whoever you're trying to get to play guitar, the most important thing to keep them going is just let them know that it's not going to be easy, because that's one thing. There are going to be challenges, but I think the most important thing to do is just play your guitar, practice it. You don't need any like extra things to try to make it like, like easier, or just, you don't need like fake guitars like Guitar Hero or anything. Like, I really do, it's a nice thing, and I don't want to sound like I'm talking bad about it, but I just think the time you could spend like doing stuff like Guitar Hero, you could spend practicing guitar. And the way that you stay motivated, the way that you keep your child playing guitar is, honestly, I think the most important thing you can have, and this, honestly, I think this goes above everything else, is a teacher, a good teacher. And listen, I say this as a guitar teacher myself, but I think the most important thing you can have is a good teacher, because as a person that was taking lessons and is still currently taking lessons from people much more experienced than me, I can tell you that it helped having a teacher, because I felt like I had a goal to go back to. And like every week, every single week, even when I wasn't feeling motivated, the fact that I had to be like, oh, okay, I have to go back to the teacher, and I have to show them what I've learned, that really helped me. I feel like a teacher, someone that you have that you're not close to, someone that's a kind of an unbiased source, someone that you have to come back to every week and show them your progress, I feel like that's a big motivational factor. And not just a teacher, but a teacher that is very willing, very free, very open-minded, very okay with making mistakes, and a teacher that just lets you make mistakes and lets you be free and doesn't have so many restrictions on what you can and what you can't do. You need a teacher that is happy and excited and motivated for your child to be doing amazing things, even when they're they're messing up or they're uncertain on what they want to do. That is what you need to do. You need to have a good teacher that can really bring it out, that can really bring out that creative side in your child. And I really think that's the most important thing that you can do, like with when it comes to like learning guitar. I really think a great teacher is something that's extremely crucial. Now, I do have to say, since so many people quit guitar, it's really, like, as I said, 90% of people quit guitar. It's very like discouraging to get people into guitar. But the thing is, the 10% that don't quit generally go on and, sometimes they play instruments for like the rest of their lives. And I know it may seem difficult. It may seem difficult to get them into an instrument, but I don't want to ramble too long, but I definitely just want to say, like, I know you guys will probably have a lot of questions that I do not answer in this video, so I do definitely want you to comment down below and just let me know what questions I kind of missed. But if you're talking about a step-by-step process, I think the first thing you do, like the first thing that you should look for when you're trying to get your kid into guitar is you should try to find things that they're excited about. That's the first step. Try to find songs, bands, music that they're excited about. First step. The second step is you select, I would recommend getting an electric guitar because electric guitars are generally easier to play than acoustics. Acoustics are good, but I would say electric guitars are easier because they are generally a little less bulky, like with the body, and the strings are less thick, so it allows you to press down the strings easier. And that is actually one of the biggest complaints and biggest reasons why guitarists quit within the first year, because they say the strings are too difficult to push down and they hurt their fingers, and they'll have like little marks in their fingers, and they'll say that that's the reason that they can't play. And so buying an electric guitar, at least, for me, it definitely helped a lot. And a lot of my students actually use electric guitars, and it definitely helps them a lot because it's a lot easier for them. And I cannot speak for every kid, so I do want to say this is more so a general video. So if you have any questions about your child in specific, then just make sure to comment down below and just make sure to ask me. I do respond to every single comment. But anyways, yeah, but that was the first step. The first step was, motivation, just finding things that they're interested in. The second step is, just going on, and I would say, like, I think getting them lessons as soon as possible. Honestly, I think getting them guitar lessons, and I do teach. I am willing to teach online as well. Like, if you want personal lessons from me, I can show you a lot better in person. Well, not in person, but it could be, online or however you want to do it. So if you do want lessons from me, then you can comment down below, and I can tell you more details on how you can do that. So I would say the second step, like, I think you should get a guitar first and then get lessons second. But you don't have to get a guitar first, because most of the time teachers will have guitars that you can borrow for free. So you can also do that. So after you get lessons, I would say the most crucial part of getting your kid to play guitar is not getting them to play guitar, but is getting them to stay. And that's the most important thing. It's not getting them to start, it's getting them to stay and keep going and be consistent. So I'm probably about to end off this video in a little bit because it's been a while. It's been about 15 minutes. So I just want to kind of close off the video with just a few points on how you should get your child to be able to stay. So it's a very difficult thing to make them play an instrument, but it's even more tough to get them to do it their entire lives. So humans are patterned animals, which basically means that if they get something, they do something over and over again, it'll kind of just become second base. It'll just become you'll just keep on doing it. You don't have to think about it. It'll kind of become second nature. So that's a thing I recommend. But if you treat guitar like it's a chore, like if you treat practice like it's a chore that you'll have to do, then no kid will be excited about it. Because you should not, in my opinion, I don't think you should set up times that you have to play your guitar, because then it'll start to feel more like a chore. It'll start to feel like an obstacle, something you have to do, just a hurdle that you have to get over. I recommend instead kind of, it is good to practice every day, but you do not have to practice every single day. Sometimes you can have a practice session 2 or 3 times a week for like maybe an hour, you know, so you can have a more intense like 2 or 3 practice schedules. Or you can have, like, sometimes it's easier for people to have like 2 or 3, like, you know, longer practice sessions rather than having to go every day at the same time and constantly doing like more and more, you know, just having to go like every single day. Because when you make a schedule, you make a time to do it every single day at this time, it starts to feel like just a laundry list of, you know, it's just something you have to do. It's like, oh, I have to play guitar at this point. And I do recommend and it is really difficult, and this doesn't work for everyone. So as I said, I can't just assume that it's going to work for everyone, but I would say I do recommend taking a more natural approach with it. I think if you just practice just a few times, at least if it's just, you know, a few times a week, for maybe like 2 or 3 hours in a week, I think that's honestly like amazing. I think the most important thing though is to always like start small and then build gradually. You know, like you may start with only doing an hour, maybe an hour and a half, but then eventually when you get more comfortable, you might do 2 hours, you might do 2 hours and a half, you might do 3 hours, you might do 3 hours and a half. So I think that's the most important thing here, to build consistency with you know, practicing a couple times a week. It doesn't have to be every single day, but you can if you want to. If it doesn't feel like, you know, stressful, then you can like practice every day if you want to, but it's not something you have to do to get better. And I think one of the most important things as well is honesty. Like, you have to be honest with your kid and tell them it's going to take a lot of dedication and a lot of hard work. And you also have to tell your child that it is going to be a little painful, because I know in a lot of modern, or I guess not even just modern, but just in general, in a lot of things that we have to do, sometimes they normally say, you know, if it hurts, then you stop, or if it feels uncomfortable, then you stop. They say this in like yoga and like exercising and in a lot of particular physical activities. But guitar is different because it will, for some child's fingers, it can hurt a little more than others. So sometimes, for some of my kids' example, it does hurt. Like pushing down to those strings, those very thin strings that dig into your fingers, it does hurt. Okay, like it does hurt for some people. It hurts more for some people, it hurts less. But the thing is, it's natural. Your fingers like build like they build a lot of, you know, strength and power, and you get they get more calloused, which basically they kind of get like more rough around the edges after probably weeks, months, maybe a few weeks or a couple months of practicing. They normally get calloused. So it does go down, like the discomfort and the pain goes down a lot, but with practice and with time. So that's something you have to be honest to them about. You have to let them know it's going to be very difficult, and it may feel a little uncomfortable, or it may even hurt just a tiny bit, but it does get better like the more you practice. And that's what you have to let them know, because a lot of kids just assume that it's just going to be, you know, really fun, and it's not going to feel discomforting or uncomfortable or even just a small bit painful, but it feels all of those things. It can feel a little painful, maybe a little uncomfortable, a little discomfort, but that's just all part of being a guitarist. It goes away after, you know, it mostly goes, it gets gradually better like the more months and months you start playing guitar. So I think the most that you can do is just be honest with your child and let them know what they're getting into, and congratulate them on their progress. Even if it's something small, congratulate them on their progress. It's something that's absolutely essential to do, because you can't just you know, have them take lessons and then they're just still like not really feeling that good. You really do have to congratulate them on the little things that they do. I really recommend, you know, getting them a teacher. I really recommend just a lot of these things. I guess I said in this video, I know this video which might be a little cluttered, but the most important thing to do is, you know, just encourage your child and don't force them to have practice schedules that they don't want. Because if a child stops, if they have a bad experience with their instrument and they stop playing, sometimes that child will never play again just because they had one bad experience. And that's about all I have to say on that matter. I really do appreciate you all watching. Thank you all so much for watching. And that's about all I have for you. I hope this answered a few of your questions. I didn't want this video to be super long, but I kind of went off a little bit, but that's okay. If you guys have any questions at all on how to get your kid into, playing guitar, or if you just have any questions in general of, trying to get other people to play guitar, play other instruments, or anything like that, then just let me know. But I guess I should say I do want to summarize in a too long didn't read, which would basically be talk to your child and don't treat them like don't treat it like it's a chore. Make sure find things that interest them. And hold on to that. Get them a teacher that can be very positive and very reinforcing, and that will be honest with your child, but they won't also just sugarcoat everything. Like, you want them to be honest, but you also don't want them to be rude. There's a way to be, honest and encouraging at the same time. So get them a teacher that will do that for them, and to keep them going, just have them just make sure to search for things that they find fun, new songs that they want to learn, or anything that they want to play, or if they want to learn a specific melody or solos or anything, just hone on to that, because it's a goal. And if they achieve that goal, it's rewarding. It's like it's like feeding them a little bit, and then it's like, oh, and then they enjoy it, and then it's like, oh, well, they want more. So it's stepping stones. Like, there are levels to this. So just keep on having them slowly climb that ladder. And when they reach these small goals that they really want to achieve, it'll feel rewarding, and it will cause them to want to play more. So, that's about all I have for you. I don't know how well I did with this video. Comment down below if you want me to make more videos like this. That's about all I have for you. I can probably help you guys a lot better in the comment section down below, because I do respond to every single comment. And if you want me to make more videos going more in depth, then I will. This is my first time making a video like this. I don't really make educational videos at all on this channel. I think this is really my first one. So please make sure to be a little forgiving. I know I may not be the absolute best at making these kind of videos, but this is my first one, so I think I will become more concise with time, and I think I'll improve a lot better. So yeah, you guys just let me know in the comment section down below. That's all I really have to say for right now. I really do appreciate it. And so you guys make sure to take care, stay awesome, most importantly, rock on.